So we watched some stuff over Guild Wars 2, and I think I'm gonna try and start getting back into the game. We looked at a couple of different builds that we had on our warriors. Since they changed the warrior skill that basically gave you like 1,000 armor and healed you when you broke stuns, I'm starting to think, our warrior builds on the other character, although they're still strong, they're probably not the best. And then I was looking at the DPS that was on the warrior, just kind of in a level 80 area, and he was hitting, 3-4,000 or something in auto. But he was like a full power build for the most part, with a little bit of conditioning. It's not as good as what we got going on with this build. Now with this build, we can go shout heals, or we can go might generation heals, but I don't know what necessarily is best, because if we look at this, it goes up to like 100 and something health, 150 health or something per might stack on myself. And then we could potentially get some more damage with crit. We could potentially get more quickness if we run frenzy. And it gives this skill gives 6 might, but the other skill, frenzy, is a 1 skill use giving 10 might, and with a 35-second cooldown. So, but it also gives you quickness, which could give you more critical hits, which would give you more might, which would give you more healing. But we're already getting, about 10 seconds of quickness anyway. But the thing with this is it's 6 seconds of quickness. If we use our ruins, we give ourselves like 8 seconds of quickness or something like that. But if we use frenzy, then we proc the other stuff, then you're looking at about 14 seconds of quickness. Then we're going to get the sword and shield proc again for another 8, which is already putting you at like 20 something, and then with phalanx strength, you're getting more might generation for your group, you're getting more healing, but with soldiers focus granting quickness for 2 seconds, and if you're in a group of warriors, 5 of you, then that's basically infinite quickness just with this, which frees up your sword slots. So it really, I think, comes down to what you're trying to do. But I think might generation is probably going to be better in general than just the quickness gen. But if you're making quickness here, then you can produce might on your own with like sword sigils or whatever. Because we have quickness on both of ours, and we probably could slide like a might generation thing on there and then put the quickest thing on the other one. But I mean, if we do that, we're losing a bunch of healing from phalanx strength. So I'm kind of split on that. And then we have the options to go body blow, which will give us basically more weakness. And with body blow, it gives us enough weakness that we could apply it simply with our bow. But it has a 5-person limit, whereas this one doesn't really have a limit. Because you can see, like, even Combustive Shot has 5 damage, but it's an AoE that can proc this multiple times, because it has like a DPS effect and stuff on it. We can go Restorative Strength to get even more healing and might, but if we're using our Defiant Stance, I don't think it really matters. And so we can instead go for Infinite Stability, basically, because at level 80, this gives you 7 seconds or so of stability, and then our Savage Leap has an 8-second cooldown. So, I mean, 1 second without stability isn't going to hurt us very much, but also it has a 1-second cooldown, so if we use our Shield Bash, then basically you're getting 14 seconds, then you're going to get this, and it's going to give you another 7, which is going to get you another Shield Bash. So, basically infinite stability with Sword Shield with this, which is why I think it's probably the best option there. But if we don't take Call of the Weak, which makes our burst skills apply weakness, which I don't think is necessarily bad, but if we don't use our burst skills on the enemy, or if we miss, there's a lot of things that can happen here. And if you have 5 warriors using bows, you're going to be able, so right now with the Shield Bash, and you get 3 Smoldering Arrows, they all have a 20-second cooldown. This applies AoE weakness for 5 seconds at level 80, which means that you basically get uh, 4 procs of this over 20 seconds, which is 20 seconds of weakness. Now, if you have 5 warriors, you're going to be able to proc a lot more. Plus, this has the longest bleed. However, you also have access to the Forceful Greatsword, which we are already getting about 70% crit chance right now. And you gain power and a chance to gain might on a critical strike. Double these bonuses while wielding a greatsword or spear. So our power is getting plus 12. I don't know what that is at level 80, but we have a 50% chance on crit to gain a might. And then with phalanx strength, 1 might is already going to heal us for like 150 or something on the build. But then it's going to apply to all 5 of your allies, which would then be like 500, 600 health. And if you're hitting multiple enemies, there's the potential of healing for quite a lot doing that. And then you could also take Dogged March, which with us at level 80 is 8 seconds of regeneration. So you're almost going to have like infinite regeneration, and it heals for like 2,000 or something, which is pretty big. So like this is like the most healing in a page that you could do for a core warrior build, and you're still going to have a lot of bleeding, a lot of damage on your character. But then this other build that we're doing, the one that we were running solo, so this one, we gain might when we are by ourselves. This build uses shout healing, and it's basically the same, because if you're in a group of 5 warriors, the thing with the might generation healing is you have to be able to hit your targets to get the might generation, which I think if you're in like a, an area that you're swarmed and you're fighting a bunch of people, or if you're in an area where you can kind of attack one enemy, that's probably fine. But I think it maybe heals less. Like, if you're able to do actual DPS consistently, I think might healing probably heals more. But this right here is still giving you
Wake up, you motherless Edens. It's time to go.
a lot of healing potential, because there is no limit to how much you can use it, like you don't have to auto attack, you don't have to do all that, you can just heal naturally using your ability. But this makes our shouts heal for like 2,000, right? And we get 2 uses of it. So for 20 seconds on this first for Great Justice, we're getting like 2,000, 4,000 health or so. And then, but with Phalanx Strength, this gives us 6 might. We're getting like 600, 700 health just off of the other tree. If we take this tree, we're getting like 600 health off of that. But if we're just taking the top tree, we are getting like 80 health per might. So you're already looking like 400 per ally. So you have 4 allies, you're looking at 1,600. And then we can take Empower Allies, which is an interval of 10 seconds, which means we can get this off twice. And that's going to give you more than 2,000, basically. And so if we take this page, we get more healing, more defense. If we take the other page, we get more damage, more vulnerability on enemies, and unblockable. And this page stacks up our ferocity, which we don't have on the other page.
Nobody else better mess with my caravan. I'll hang them by their toes and slay them.
Now, what I think is kind of interesting here, though, so this is the healing page that can give us like the maximum amount of healing. I don't think we need this. We can probably just go with body blows here and have a crazy amount of weakness on our enemies. We could go reflective stuff. We could go dogged march, get more healing. But what I think is interesting.
What is it about my caravan that expects me
What I think is interesting is, so this build that we had set up on this character, which I don't know if this was the last build I was working on or not before I left the game. The more I look at it, the more, because we already looked at different runes, and we looked at the tormenting runes. So like if I put tormenting runes on here, I could get my torment, if I run 2 swords, I could get my torment up to like almost 100% torment. So you could do 100% bleed duration, 100% torment duration, 100% burn duration, all with this build. But one of the big things I never liked about not running shouts is that you lose out on kind of the safety net of healing when you need the healing really bad. But the Tempest runes that we have here are giving us bonus to all of our stats and bonus to our condition duration, and allies within 360-meter radius after breaking a stun get healed. And then at level 80, it's saying that that heals for 1100. So when we run our shout build and we're doing, we have 3 shake it offs.
I hear rumbling hooves. I know what that means. Tongues. This is what I'm paying you for.
Well, when we do 3 shake it offs, and if you have 5 soldiers, then that's 15 shake it offs. But when you broke out of it, you're getting the 2,000 health from the shake it off, and then you're getting the 1,000 health from the ruin. So you're getting 3,000 health, and it's in an AoE around everybody, and you get 3 of those, and over like a 20-second cooldown. So then you're looking at, you have basically 5 shouts that are healing everybody for 2,000 apiece, and then you have like the shake it offs doing 1,000 extra, and you got 5 warriors with that. Then like just using for great justice once with 5 warriors would be 10,000. So that means you're getting two like healing skills, like full healing skills there. And then if you use shake it off, you're getting that 2,000, right? But what happens is you're losing like combat healing. Like it's possible that the combat healing would be extra, like more than what the shouts would. But shouts you don't have to attack to activate it, so it's safer to use, and in a group it heals for a lot. But if you do this, for great justice still heals you for probably about the same as it was, and you have the soldier's focus, right? And shake it off is now healing us for less, so we have less uses of it, but
For great justice!
all right. So like we're losing, like this is the normal damage page, right? So the vulnerability and stuff gives us the maximum amount of DPS. We get a bunch of extra crit damage because we get the ferocity stacks from here. So we're getting like a 20-30% damage bonus on our crits, and we're running at a 70% crit rate with this, but we're running the shout heals. However, we could still run empower empower allies, which would be proccing twice in the same duration period that Shrug It Off would take. And this is giving us 5 stacks of might on ourself, but we don't get self-healing. But that's 5 stacks of might that would be healing us 80 apiece. So you get 400 per ally and then you times that by at least 4, because I mean I'm sure this probably has a limit of 4, and a 600 radius, which isn't terrible. It's twice the radius of the ruin on your armor. So you're looking at, 400, 1600, and you're getting that twice for the like in the period of one Shake It Off. But Shake It Off removes conditions. I don't think you necessarily want to remove Shake It Off at all. But do you really want to use Shake It Off as a healing source? Is it situational or is it a healing skill? Because in the shout build, it's both, and then you get stunned or something, and you don't have Shake It Off to break it. So I'm thinking that in the empower allies might just be better when you're in a group, and then when you want to do the other thing, you swap it back to the shouts when you're solo, because this will just give you more total healing, I think. The issue I'm seeing here is that you will activate this more often. You also have the bow ability and the fire aurora that will give you might to yourself, which will then give it to your allies and heal you with that. So I think all of that together would probably give you more total healing than anything else. But it's kind of like a hard decision. I think it's probably fine though, because like here, all of that's good. It's just one swap and you're good. We already have the regen. We have all the extra condition damage, everything that we need there. So I'm thinking this is probably like the top 2 builds for the new Rome. And one of these is more defensive, one of them is more offensive. Like this one, you're going to get a lot more health and a lot more damage in a group. You can burn damage, bleed damage, everything. I also like this because burst skills granting fury and increase crit chance. So right now our crit chance goes up to 35. So that's going to go to 55. But when we go over to the other one, crit chance is now 40%. Migrant power, crit chance increased. I guess the real question is, do you want to be more defensive or offensive? Because some of this, I mean, I don't think it necessarily matters too much. I think Dogged March could be good if you get crippled and stuff a lot, but you're going to be removing those conditions and things, so it's probably not that big of a deal. And there are ruins you can do to decrease your condition duration, so you can probably get these down to like 60%. But Call of the Weak, the AoE weakness that you're going to get with your group, I think would reduce the total amount of damage on you, and it reduces the amount of endurance that the enemies have, which I think is pretty important. And then like things like relent roll, like those are good, but I don't think it matters so much when it comes to like bows. But this gives like the most total healing potentially, I think. So this is like a defensive package. If you need to be tankier, if you need to have more defense, you can go here. I don't know how much we're getting from Forceful Greatsword is the question. And then this one is going to be your offensive package. So basically the same exact setup. And if you're solo, you go shout heals, and then if you don't, you go for might generation. But the thing is too with might generation is there's plenty of ruins that you can get for your weapons that give you might on hit or might on crit, which would heal, I think, probably more. But the thing is too, like if you're on the front lines and you use the fire aurora, so like if we go over here, And we go get that Fire Aurora skill. Signet of Rage would be a little bit better, but when we use the Fire Aurora and they hit us, they give us might. So you're also getting your combo fields giving you might and stuff as well, which I think is... it would be really, really strong. Okay, so... Armor 1, defensive... runs. Armor 1, DPS, setup.
What's that?
Swap to shouts.
Would even touch the slop out here.
Shouts solo. Where's a good test for this though? I wasn't planning on playing much today before work, but kind of already started doing some stuff and things, so. I mean, if we go here, so if we don't use any burst skills or combos or anything, our auto attacks are the only thing that should give us any sort of crit. So we do this and get 60%, we're at 7. And it jumped up when we auto attacked.
That went better than I expected. For great justice. Shake it off. For great justice. Adrenaline right. Shake it off. For great justice. Shake it off.
Through.
For great justice.
I think that worked fine, you know? So we had stability if we used our mobility skills. We had extra might generation. It seems like we're healing quite a bit. I mean, we got 60% crit chance, and if you're against a bunch of people, then I think that would probably go up quite a lot. not sure where that burning came from. Oh yeah, I'm dumb. Never mind. My question is though, like on this bow that we have right now, we have the sigil that increases our condition damage. If we had the one that increased the condition duration by like 10%, would that be better or not? Because then our burning would get up to like 90% duration, you know?
Now we can fight for real.
Focus, raging fiends.
Take that. Gaining and ready.
That level,
Back up.
max level player with legendary gear ran behind a bandit and used a protection spell off an elite spec when the bandit wasn't even looking at them. Crazy.
Strong.
Spiteful jerk. Those bandits are gone. Let's celebrate with some beef brisket. Mmm.
Yeah, I might just restart the video before I go to work, the stream, and then make a video over this build. Post it on the internet, see what happened. Last build that I ever made before I left Guild Wars, it got, I think, I haven't went back and looked at the video, but it had like 400, 500 votes, or likes or whatever, the first day. And then I never really went back and looked at it.
For great justice.
Nice, splendid.
Cool. The problem I have with this build is it worth it for me to say change my armor on the character? Because basically with this worn armor set, we have two builds, which are both really good. And it's capable of doing everything. So my other build on my other character, he has like very high crit chance, very high damage, a lot of might healing and stuff on him just as a person. And I don't think it's really necessary to have infinite quickness on the warriors. Like, it helps with the bow, but it isn't that big of a deal. So you get 9 seconds of quickness on the sword shield, and then you swap back over to the bow, and you have 9 seconds before you swap back to your sword shield. So I think that's perfectly fine for this. But battle standard, I think, is just better for a team than the Signet of Rage, potentially. Because this gives you the revives, it gives you damage, and also you're getting 2 might every, 3 seconds? Yeah, so you get 5 uses of 2 might, which even with the defensive page, that 2 might's going to be giving you like 300 health. So you're getting 5 uses of it, so it's like 1500 health. But if you have the phalanx strength, then this is also giving might to your allies, which you're getting 80 per 2, so you're getting 160, 400, you're getting like 600, 700 health off of that one proc, but then also the 2 might that comes to you is going to them as well. So you're getting 4 might in total at 80 health, which is 240 health, and then you're going to get that times 4, so you're getting like, I don't know, A good chunk, like 2,000, something like that. And you're getting that 5 times. But I think it's fine. Mr. Troll. Okay, I don't know why that canceled, but whatever. What?
Adrenaline rising.
Yeah. Okay. I guess technically you don't have to have everybody in your group run this. Like you could have one person run Call of the Week and it would probably give you enough weakness for everybody. The only thing I could say is like, or you could have one person run Call of the Week. Yeah, like they could run the other build because they could apply all the vulnerability. But I kind of want to try the torment thing at some point, but the thing is that the torment on at least this character doesn't really seem to be that big of a deal, because the torment, even at not 100% torment like condition duration, was doing like 5,000. It did like a 4 stack of 5,000 damage over like 12 seconds or something. You get that to 100% duration, you're looking at, I don't know, like 20, 25 seconds. Maybe you're getting that stack up, like more. You're going to get 2 procs of it, potentially, I think. What's the, oh. Yeah, so 4-second duration, 10 seconds. And I know this went up to 12, but you have a 15-second recharge. So you're able to get this down to where you can use it twice. But you're looking at 10 stacks of Torment, and if you have multiple people, that'd be a lot more. Now, but you'd lose your quickness on your sword swap out, so there is that.
Wake up, you motherless Ettins. It's time to go.
Everything's tied up and ready to go.
Good. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
Conditions do more
Check me
damage.
out. Let's get going.
Time to kill a foe, charges. So you get 250 condition damage. But yeah, my other character, he was full power, which the issue with power is you have to be 100% like on your target to do the DPS and stuff, and you have to put yourself in a vulnerable situation. Unless you're using rifle, but rifle's single target compared to like a bow, which can shoot multiple enemies.
For great justice.
Nobody else better mess with my caravan. I'll hang them by their toes and flip them.
Don't let the gate hit you on the way out.
But yeah, he was doing like, I don't know, even if he did 10,000 damage in auto attack, right? Which is kind of much in this game. He was doing like 4,000 or 5,000, I think. On this build with my other setup, the full damage setup, I was doing on par damage-wise with my champion in physical damage without using a greatsword. And then my bleeds and my burning are getting up to like
For great justice. There's one to remember me by. For great justice.
but my bleed and my burn damage was doing like 3,000 apiece, right? And I have less armor. I don't have access to the 100% protection. Like on this character, if I drop the damage and I take away my might generation here, so gain health whenever you apply might to yourself, and I got rid of the forceful greatsword and the stability, I can go Spellbringer, and I could get pretty close to 100% protection. So you stack that with weakness, and you're going to get like 80% damage reduction, even though you have less armor, you know? Something like that. Because basically, this right here, when you use a healing skill, you get 3 seconds. It's going to go up to 4 or 5 seconds of protection. And then you have the,
I hear rumbling hooves. You know what that means. Tongues. This is what
What's
I'm
that,
paying
2?
you for.
It says 2 charges. Holy crap. But yeah, you can basically get almost infinite protection without any major ruin changes, right? And if you did it like a major ruin change, then I think this would be fine. And if you do that, I think you would get more total like might generation, I think, as well. Like might healing wise. But you'd need the fire. The fire aurora would be a big one. You'd want to be absorbing most of the damage for your team.
Adrenaline rush.
Yeah. We'll stop this stream. I will then finish the quest and go back, and we will do the
Quick work of them.
a short video. I'll post it on YouTube, and we'll see what people think.
For great justice.
I do think that I need to use different equipment though for the lower level areas. Like I need another set of armor that's just basic armor. So that's probably what I need to do for Queensdale, is just replace all of this with basic armor. And basic armor, basic weapons. That'll make it to where I don't kill everything super easily.
Crawl hair. Do something about that, will ya?
For great justice. For great justice. Charge. For great justice. There's one to remember me by. Strong.
Alright. Alright, let me stop the stream real quick and I'll make a video real fast.